What's up, fam? It's Matt, and welcome back to the vlog. So on today's agenda, it's actually the first day that I'm going to seriously go look at land that I have been keeping my eye on. I've been up in Alaska for a couple weeks now, and as you may or may not know or be able to tell, I am currently parked at Bill's house from My Alaska. He's graciously offered to let me park my trailer here on his property until I can find my own land to live, which is super awesome of him. Greatly appreciated. It took a lot of stress off me, because originally the plan was I was just going to come up and explore around and boondock and not find land, but then I decided I want to own some land, and so it changed the plan a little bit, and had a couple of other friends that offered to let me park on their property, but Bill's is really convenient, and he's got all the infrastructure, so it's made it super easy to just park on his property. So I'm super grateful for that, like I said. Last weekend I did some driving around and exploring of a few areas just to kind of get a feel for it. I've been through this area quite a bit, but last weekend I was gone for about 6 hours, actually, just driving around, getting a feel, looking at everything, looking for sale signs and things like that. But today I have a specific list of properties that I want to go look at that are contenders. So we're going to go do that. But first we're going to stop by the town site and grab a drink, and then we will head out to the properties. So I'll bring you guys along. Jeez, traffic jam. Never have to wait this long here. Ooh, that's a new 4Runner. Fancy. Alright, this is Willow Town Site. I'm gonna pop in here. I'm gonna swing around and park on the other side of the building. Which means I probably should have just got up to this other entrance, but I'm gonna swing in here and grab some water to restock the water in the truck. And then I'm gonna grab a drink here, and we will mush on to the properties. Alright, water has been obtained. I was gonna get a coffee energy drink there, but I've decided I'm gonna go get actual coffee at Lead Dog, which is down here on the corner of the Willow Fishhook Road that leads up to Hatcher Pass. So we'll head down there and get real good coffee, and I'll just leave you guys running until we get there. Yeah, it's rush hour in Willow today. I swear I've never had to wait this long to turn left onto the highway. So we just left town site, and the Willow Fishhook Road is up here. This is Willow Station. The Airbnb that I stayed at when I was up here for my February trip last year is just off Willow Station here. So you turn right and it's back there about a mile. Maybe less, maybe half a mile. We just passed the school. Here's the community center where there's a farmer's market. So Bill and I headed over there yesterday, but that's also where we had the outhouse race during that February trip, where they do the Willow Carnival every February. So that was fun. And right off to the right here is the Willow Airport. And the week and a half that I've been here at Bill's house, I guess it's just been a week. The week that I've been staying at Bill's house down here in Willow, I swear, I've never seen so many airplanes. I just didn't realize, I guess, how many people around here have airplanes. Just constantly, all the time, all the airplanes taking off and on, or taking off and landing. So you've got the main Willow Airport there, but there's like a half dozen private airstrips really close by as well. So just always airplanes taking off and landing. So here's the turn off to Willow Fishhook, where you can go up to Hatcher Pass, and also here is Lead Dog Coffee. I'm gonna turn in here and get in line, because it looks like we've got to wait today. Which is fine, it's good coffee. Hey guys, so just on my way back to Bill's now, went and drove by a few properties. Definitely one of them is right at the top of the list, and I think it's gonna be the winner. There's one more property I'm gonna go look at here in a minute, but I think there's one that is definitely at the top of the list. I didn't get out and actually walk the property. I want to go back with the realtor for an official look at it, but I think I'm going to try and get that one. So when that happens, I will take you guys over there and show you what it is. Like I said, I didn't get out and walk any of the properties because I'm just driving around and I don't feel comfortable getting out walking on the land without having something official set up. So I was just sticking to the road, kind of driving around the neighborhoods, looking at the area, looking at the other houses and the other people that are there, to kind of get a feel for it. And the one that's at the top of the list, I think I like the area, and there's a mix of some interesting houses and then some nice ones. And there was one guy that was actively building on his property, and he waved at me as I drove by. And then there was a couple of places where they're doing what I want to do, and they just parked an RV on the property. Anyway, I'm gonna go swing by one more property. This one is up the Willow Fishhook Road, and I don't think I'm gonna be interested in this one, but I'm gonna go drive by it anyway. Anyway, I'm gonna go look at this second piece of land here, and it's gonna take me about 15 minutes to get there, and then we're gonna head back. It is just an absolutely gorgeous day here in Willow. I know the northern part of the state was under a heat warning this week. I think it was going through today. But this is going to be the last gorgeous day for a while. There's a low pressure coming in, and it's supposed to rain off and on for at least the next week. So kind of getting out and enjoying the nice day while I can. All right, guys, we're headed back down Willow Fishhook towards Willow. The property up here was a complete dud. Somehow, I had looked it up on the borough's GIS website that they have, and for some reason I thought that the slope went the opposite direction than it actually does. So yeah, the piece of property up there is basically on the side of a cliff. And there's like a gully running through the middle of it. There's a reason why it's so cheap, because that's a nice little area up there. But that property is completely unusable. I don't know if those people are ever going to be able to sell it, because you can't really do anything with it. Yep, that piece of property was zero buenos, and so we are headed back down. So I'm gonna go home to the trailer and do some more research and look some more stuff up, and we'll take it from there. All right, here's the road. And you can see along the road here, there's a nice bit of growth, probably 10, 12 feet tall. So that'll give a nice privacy barrier between me and the road. And then to get back in the property right now, you gotta go through here and climb over all this mess. You can see all this stuff that's down from the fire, but it kind of opens up back in here. So I'm gonna, once the closing's done, I'm gonna have the property surveyed, so I know exactly where my lot lines are. But you can see it opens up, and still some growth back in here, but not too tall. The whole property is 0.97 acres, I think. Either 0.97 or 0.98, I can't remember exactly. But yeah, should be real nice. The ground looks pretty good too. It's dry, and you see there's some animal droppings there. Moose. But there are rocks and various things, and the ground feels pretty sturdy. So be curious to see just how much of dirt there is before we hopefully hit gravel, so I won't have to bring in too much fill for the pad. But I'm gonna try and I'll clean up all the dead stuff along the road, but I'm gonna try and leave in all the foliage that's grown over there, like I said, as the privacy barrier. And like that little spruce tree and some of these other trees that are a little bit bigger in here. And then just get rid of all this dead stuff. But yeah, here we are. This will be mine in about 2 weeks. Should be a fun time. Can't wait. Making our way back to the truck. The property line is over here somewhere. Like I said, I'm gonna have it surveyed so I know for sure before I have anything permanent done. Whoa. All right, we made it. All right, fam. I'm not sure when the last clip for this video was filmed, but it is currently early August, and they just got done surveying my new property. So I'm headed out there right now, but first I have to splash some gas in my truck because it's a ways away from where I'm staying on Bill, my Alaska's property. Yeah, I've got 1/8 of a tank left of gas, so after my Arctic Circle road trip, so I need to put more gas in it. So I'm gonna splash some gas in here in town site, then I'm gonna stop and grab some caffeine at Lead Dog, and then we are gonna head out to the property. All right, we have been sufficiently fueled in the truck, but exactly 5 gallons in cost me exactly $17.50, which makes my number brain happy. So now we're gonna swing by and grab some coffee and then head out towards the property. Trying to find an angle that makes me look less fat. See how this looks when I go to edit it. All right, the caffeine has been obtained, so now we are heading out of Willow towards where my property's at. So I will see you guys there. It's gonna be fun because because I'm not sure what I put in the previous clips, but there's no driveway or anything, so you gotta like climb over a bunch of shrubbery and stuff to get in there, and it's raining today. So it's gonna be a nice little wet adventure, but I just wanna go see where the property corners are at, so I can kind of get an idea of how much work it's gonna take to get in the driveway and stuff. When the surveyor sent me the email this morning, they said they were able to find 3 of the original corner stakes, but they couldn't find the southwest corner stake. So it either got destroyed at some point, maybe in the fire, or it's just sunk into the ground too far. Who knows? They said they put a survey, like a wooden survey stake thing at that corner, about as close as they could approximate to where the corner was. All right, guys, here is the southwest marker. Now, the survey people said they couldn't find this one, I believe, so they just surveyed out where the marker should have been, but they were unable to find the actual lot marker from the borough. But this should be the southwest corner, and then the northwest corner is up there ways. We're gonna bushwhack in the little trail that's over here to see where the lot line goes and see if we can find the other back corners. All right, we got one marker here. Okay. And then, oh cool, they tied markers to the trees where they could, it looks like. Trying to dodge the fallen burned stuff that's on the ground. Walking here. Okay, so they went all down, and they did put in some actual survey stakes, it looks like, too. Cool. All right. And then let's look over here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys could see it, but I can see the other side of the property over there. There's a survey stake over there. So I'm gonna work my way towards the back corner and see if I can chase down where this back corner is. All right, rather than bushwhack through my property, which is more overgrown, I'm going to go up the neighbor's property here. Oh, here's a property line marker here. Cool. That is not the corner marker. So we're gonna climb over this old birch tree here. Whoop, try not to fall. And oh man, it goes way back there. Holy cow. You see they tied up all these flags here. Man, they put up way more flags and markers than I was expecting them to. I don't know if I necessarily want to go all the way back here, but I can see where the surveyors trampled the trail already. So oh, here's a survey marker right here. Yeah, they did a good job. They're nicely labeled. They put up some extra flags. There's a marker there. I'm gonna walk around this way. Trying not to trip and fall and break my neck. Ooh. There is watermelon berries all over the place. Cool. And they are on my side of the property line. Even cooler. All right. I'm gonna put you guys down. All right, that's the corner marker over here. So there's the corner. And then it goes off that way. I'm not gonna take you guys over there because you can see right into the neighbor's house. But yeah. An acre is bigger than you think it is. This is cool. It's not as much property as I would like someday, but it'll be a good little start. All right, guys, we're on making our way back towards the front of the property, although I'm taking a backwards sideways route because it's clearer over here. But I'm satisfied with that. This comes a lot further back than I thought from just walking it without knowing where the property lines were exactly. This was the wrong way to go. See if I can make my way through the middle here. Most of this growth is only going to be 5 years old, and it's really starting to come up. I was going to go back for those berries, but I kind of don't want to. So here, I'll flip you guys around so you can kind of see. So yeah, I got berries along parts of the northern property line. So that's cool. This middle section here is not too overgrown, so won't need to do any major remodeling with a chainsaw. The excavator can get all of this stuff. And yeah, let's go back over here. Oops, sorry guys. Put you into the tree and then immediately whacked myself in the face with said tree. Cool. All right, it's mine. We're back towards the front of the property in the more cleared out spot. Anyway, I met the across the street neighbor. He's a really nice guy, older gentleman. We had a really nice talk. We chatted about the neighborhood and the land, and he answered a few questions that I had, and he saw the surveyors out here. So he talked to them a little bit and watched them locate the property corners. So we had a nice little chat. Nice guy. He's gonna be a good neighbor, I think. And he was telling me about some of the other folks in this neighborhood, and seems like a good place. I'm happy that I bought here. So yeah, now I'm gonna go out to the street and kind of get an idea of where I want my driveway to go in, because basically here, I'll flip you guys around so you can kind of see what I'm thinking. All right, you can see that pink flag in that tree right there. That's the property line. That's the southern end. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is bring the driveway in probably where this big dead tree is, right here in the middle of the frame. And then if you guys can kind of see here how the line of growth along the road here on the left is pretty damn straight. And so I'll probably have Bill clear starting where this line of trees is, where this line of growth is, and we'll just clear back about 2/3 of the acre, and we'll leave the back third as pristine, basically. And also I'm thinking about 10, maybe 15 feet off of the property lines is where we'll clear to. So that's my thinking right now, because I kind of like, there's a lot of big growth along the road here, provides a lot more privacy. And that's kind of what I'm after a little bit. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll clear 2/3 of an acre here, and that'll give me plenty of room for shenanigans of putting in the pad, and then drilling or digging an outhouse hole, and then being able to put in like a trailer parking area or a tent platform, park a Connex on here, just get started with some basics next year when I come back up. So anyway, that's the plan right now. I'm gonna make my way back to the truck because it is starting to rain again, and it's very wet out here. So before it gets any wetter, I'm gonna go sit in the truck. All right, gotta go onto the neighbor's property because that's where the trail is. Yeah, you can see here's my property line right here, but we gotta go this way off of it to get out. That's pretty much the only way back in here right now. Let's not trip and fall on these hidden branches through here. I want to know one thing I love about Alaska is you can go through the bush like this and not have to worry about ticks, because there are no ticks up here. I don't have to do the 5-minute dance to find ticks. And here we are. Oops, sorry, fingers in the way. And here we are, back on the road. All right, guys, good morning. It is a Saturday morning in mid-September, and we're doing something very exciting today. Bill from My Alaska and Digging Alaska and I are going out to my property, and we are going to be putting in my driveway and a little parking area. So we loaded up his excavator this morning. I have got a 20-foot culvert on a trailer that I'm towing with my Tundra. We have 40-50 feet of road fabric. We have 4 loads of pit run gravel getting delivered, and it should be a fun time. Looking forward to getting some work done for the first time on my new property. So it is a little bittersweet, because I'm actually going to be leaving Alaska a week from today, a week from the day this video or this clip is being filmed. I was going to try and stay on my property for a bit and after we got it done, but it's been just a cold, wet, rainy, miserable fall up here in Alaska this year. And so I moved my trip back to Utah up by 2 weeks. So I'm actually leaving Alaska a week from today. And it's a little sad, but it's actually will be good for the driveway that I won't be using it. So we'll get it put in. It is still quite rainy and grumpy. It's supposed to clear up later today, but right now it's foggy and rainy and grumpy, and yeah, just an all-around miserable day to be working outside, but we're going to be doing it anyway. But it'll be good because we'll be able to get the driveway put in and get it all leveled out, and with the culvert and the road fabric and the gravel and everything, and then we'll be able to let it sit all winter without driving on it and let it really compact. And then if I have to add more material to it next year when I come up, then I'll have a good base for it already that will have compacted and frozen and thawed over the winter time. So I think it'll turn out good. Not sure how much filming I'm going to be able to get done today. I'm bringing this is my new DJI action cam. I'm also bringing a GoPro that I'm going to try and set up in a spot where we can just do like a time lapse or something. So we'll see how it goes. Well, this is the kind of day we're working with today. It is misty and foggy and wet and 46 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and just a cold fall day in Alaska. But we got work that's got to get done, so we're going to do it. I don't think it's going to come across on the camera very well, guys, but it's foggy and misty. Alright guys, here we are. So here's the southwest corner of my property. I measured out, when I came out the other day, measured out about 30 feet, and then right here where this green stripe is will be approximately where the driveway is going to go back into the property there. There's a little bit of a gully, not too bad though. And then this green stripe right here is where the other side of the driveway is going to be. So it's about a 14-foot driveway. On the back of the truck there, you can see that I have the culvert. It's a 12-inch culvert and it's 20 feet long, so we gave us plenty of extra in case I wanted to widen the driveway approach at some point. But so I swing you guys around and you can just see Bill coming down the road with his excavator. He's gonna get started, and then here in about 2 hours we've got dump trucks of gravel showing up. So right now he's just gonna punch into the trees, start getting things scraped and knocked down, and then we're gonna lay down the culvert and the road fabric. Bill's getting it done. All right, a little further back in there now. There is so much dead trees from a fire that burned through here a number of years ago that he's having to clear out. There's a lot more back in there than I think both of us thought there was. Check it out, guys, the sun is peeking through. Suddenly got quite a bit more pleasant out here. Yeah, Bill's still working. He's only been going at this for about a half hour. And look at what we got done so far. He is doing a damn good job. Thank you, Bill. All right, guys. So a little bit later in the day, there was a delay with the gravel getting delivered, but finally showed up. We were getting 4, maybe 6 trucks of gravel getting delivered. So first one just dumped off, and now Bill's getting it put on the driveway. We've got a lot of fill to work to get that driveway done. So hopefully we can get it done with 6 trucks. If not, then it's likely we'll just get done what we can, and I will have to finish it next spring when I come back up. All right, gravel truck the second just got dumped off here, and he's headed back out, and Bill's continuing to work on spreading that material out. Got a nice little approach put in, and now he's just going to be filling it in more. So should have another truck in transit, and then I think 4 more. So the one that's in transit, and then 3 more. I should have all 6 in here. Get the driveway all put in. All right, here's where we're up to with the second load of gravel. Got it pushed out to the culvert and buried the culvert. So still got a few more loads to go. Get all the way in there. All right, here comes gravel truck number 3. All right, fam, we are on the home stretch. We have all of the gravel delivered now. Bill has a nice driveway put in. He's working on feathering out onto the existing gravel on the property back there. And the last thing we're going to do when he's done with that is he's going to dig a hole so I can put in an outhouse in spring when I come back up. And we'll get that done, and I will show you the end product. It may not be today because the gravel was 4 hours late, and so we're both tired and hungry and grumpy from having to just sit out here for 4 hours. So I will try and come back tomorrow and actually pull onto my property with my truck for the first time and show you guys the end product. All right, he's done with the driveway for the most part, and now he's back there digging an outhouse hole so I can put in an outhouse next spring when I get up here. All right, sorry if you can hear the excavator still. He's working a little bit more on the driveway because we're not quite done. But there's the property line, and here is the hole. This is a big hole, but also look at all the gravel. So we were pretty happy to find out that there's good gravel, and it's gravel, sand. So this property should drain really well. So it'll be good for septic, and to have the outhouse here temporarily on the front corner of the property. All right, guys, we're done. That's all she wrote for this year. Got a nice driveway put in. Got a little bit of a parking area scraped out, and an outhouse hole dug. Super excited to see what it's going to look like when I get back up here in the spring. All right, guys, it is the next day after Bill and I got done working out here on the property. If you watched the end of my Alaska Highway series for this year, you'll recognize that I'm filming this clip on the very same day. Since I'm out here at the property, I decided to drive my truck onto it for the very first time. You can see it right back there. We are on the driveway. It is super awesome feeling to actually have my vehicle on my own property for the very first time in my life. This is the first time that I have ever purchased real estate, whether it's bare land like this or house or condo or anything. I've never owned a stitch of real estate in my entire life, so this is my very first place, and I am super excited to get started working on it and playing on it and living on it and just figuring out exactly what I want to do with it. So let me flip the camera around and I'll kind of show you how it's going to end up for the year from the back side of where Bill cleared this out, and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm kind of standing on the, the northeast corner ish of the little area that Bill scraped. As you can see, we didn't spend too much time making this place perfect. Basically, he just scraped off a bunch of the overburden and kind of got started on it. I will have to have more work done on it this upcoming spring when I come back up, because I want to continue the pad clearing this way and just make one big square. Right now it's kind of trapezoidal shaped, kind of triangular, and so just kind of want to square it off and get it leveled out and stuff. One thing we did find while he was scraping is this was definitely cleared at one point, and there is gravel underneath all this. Now we think that it's because this area is just naturally graveled, so it wasn't that the original homesteaders brought in some gravel to this area. But this piece of property and the one right next door was definitely cleared at some point. But super happy to know that there is naturally occurring gravel underneath all of this topsoil. So I showed you the outhouse pit earlier, so you could see kind of the layers there. But this is the pit, or not the pit. This is the cleared out parking area. That's going to need some more work. And then you can see my truck is sitting right here on the end of the driveway. And I did drive my truck out onto this cleared out spot to turn around, and it's pretty firm, and it's been raining pretty good overnight. So this property does look like it drains really well. It was far less muddy than we were expecting when we were clearing stuff off and putting the driveway in. So I'm super happy to find that out as well. It seems like the property does have decent drainage on it. Sorry to spinning you all around here, but this is the view of the scraped out parking area. And then we've got my truck sitting at the end of where the gravel that we brought in yesterday is. And then this is the driveway from the property headed out. So we're gonna let this settle over the winter time, go through a freeze thaw cycle, and then I'll probably have to have more material brought out in the spring just to kind of shore it up, and then we're going to let it harden and basically turn into the same surface as the road out there. Yeah, this is what it looks like, and this is the last time I'm going to be out here for the season. So I will see this place again in the spring. All right, I think this is going to close out the land video for the channel. The next time you guys see this, like I said, will be in the spring, and we'll be looking forward to doing lots more projects and lots more work on this place. Looking forward to it. I'm still not entirely certain what my living accommodations will be. I know that the trailer that I'm currently living in, that micro mini that you've seen in my videos, I'm going to be selling that or trading it in on something else. It's just not the right thing for this lifestyle. I bought that trailer to be a nomad lifestyle rig, so planning on moving it and going exploring and stuff. But when I got up to Alaska and decided to buy land instead of just boondocking all over the place all summer. It quickly became apparent that that trailer is not the right situation. So got lots to do this winter. Got to sell the trailer, got to possibly get a new truck, and then figure out what I want to do for living on this property next spring and next summer. I've got a few ideas, and we'll let you guys know as I work through those ideas. Try and bring you along, especially if I go new trailer shopping or figuring out what I want to do. Yeah, I'll bring you guys along and let you enjoy the journey with me. So yeah, I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks everybody for watching and coming along. Hope everybody is as excited as I am about this new part of my life, and looking forward to sharing it with you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you got anybody that's interested in following along with me on this journey, then go ahead and share this video with them. Leave a comment. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we will catch you guys in the next one.